This conference will now be recorded.
All right, let's continue. Yesterday we have seen how to create the custom B2C site. For that, step number 1, we have downloaded the SAP Commerce software. You can see this is the SAP Commerce software. Okay, you can see this is the SAP Commerce software. Then step number 2 is we have unzipped it, and you can see this is the unzipped results. Then step number 3 is what? We have set the ant path. We have set the Java path, and step number 4 is we have set the ant path. After that, we have set the admin user password. How did we set the admin user password? We went to the installer, we went to the recipe, we went to the CF recipe because this is what we want to install it. Then we went to here, so we added this entry. Okay, we added this entry. Please remember this. You open this build.gradle file in the Notepad++. Then after that, we have installed the CX recipe, which will give standard B2C site and B2B site. Okay, now we don't want standard, we want custom. So that's why create custom B2C site. For that, we have run the ant module gen. We have selected the template, we have given the name, and we have given the package. So then we got the error. Then we have seen how to fix the error. What is the fix we have done for this error? What is the fix we have done for this error? Quickly.
Delete the B2B.
Yes, very good. So, so if you see step number 6, it is having B2C and B2B, but here custom B2C. So therefore, it is confusing whether it's to continue with the B2C or B2B. So therefore, we have deleted the B2B. Hence, that works. So after that, we repeated the steps again. So we repeated. Okay. So we repeated 7.1 to 7.1. 7.2, okay, 7.2 and 7.3, then 7.4. So we repeated these steps. After that, so everything is good. Then we have done the next steps also. What are the next steps? So we added the custom extensions. Where did we add the custom extensions? Okay, you went to the software, go to Hybris, go to the config. There is a local extensions file. Okay, in the local extensions file, we added the custom extensions. Similarly, we deleted the standard extensions or commented it. So if you go here, you can see we commented it. That's it. Once that is done, then so if server is running, then we need to stop it. Anyway, our server is not running. That's why we are fine. Then we have done the build. When we did the build, again we got error. Then we have seen how to fix it. So that means we are good with the. So yesterday, this is what we completed. After fix, we are good with the build. So we have seen how to fix the build or how to fix that error. After that, we are good with the build. So this is what we have seen yesterday. Now let's continue. Step number 8. Okay, step number 8. So please remember this here. SAP Commerce by default provides HSQLDB. SAP Commerce by default provides HSQLDB. If your company don't want HSQLDB, now it's time you can configure whatever DB you want. So that's why step number 8 is change the database. But this is optional, not mandatory. Change the database. This is optional. So SAP Commerce by default provide HSQLDB. Now the question number 1 is what? Where can we see SAP Commerce provided HSQLDB details? So if you want to see, go to your software. Okay, go to your software, go to Hybris, go to bin, go to platform. So there is a project.properties. You can open that and look for HSQLDB. So look for the HSQLDB. Now you can see these are the HSQL database settings. So therefore, so the answer is what? You need to go to this location and go to the project.properties. So that's where you can find it. That's where you can find it. Now the second question is, let's say your company, okay, let's say your client don't want HSQL DB and they want, let's say, HANA DB. Okay, so they want HANA DB. Then what to do? So for that, step number one is what? First, you need to find out HANA DB settings. Okay, so step number one is find the HANA DB settings, connection settings, HANA database connection settings. Connection settings. So where can we find it? Again, the same place. Where can we find it? Again, same place. So this is the step number one. Next, step number two. Let's see where can we have HANA. So search with HANA. Search with HANA. So you can see these are the HANA DB settings. These are the HANA DB settings. So therefore, so you can find the HANA database settings. These are the HANA database settings, and you can configure here itself by uncommenting this. You can configure here itself by uncommenting this. This will work, no problem. This will work, no problem. But this is not the best practice. This is not the best practice. The reason is this file, whatever you are seeing here, is in the platform. So this file, whatever you are seeing here, is in the platform. So therefore, if any changes you do, it will work, no problem. But when you do the upgrade, your changes will be lost. So therefore, doing the changes, okay, so doing the changes inside, okay, platform project.properties is not the best practice. Is not the best practice, because when we do the upgrade, your changes may be lost. Okay, so because when we do the upgrade, changes will lost. Then what to do? So follow step number two. So what is the step number two? So you can copy these settings. Okay, so copy the settings from here. Okay, copy the HANA DB settings. Copy the HANA database settings and go to the config local.properties. You can see here, go to the config local.properties. So here you can configure the database. So you can go to the config local.properties, config / local.properties. So here you can configure the database settings. So here you can configure the database settings. This is the best practice. So therefore here you can go on to specify the database details. So let's say HANA database is there in the Sweta machine. So then you can see, so there is a database URL, database driver, database username, database password. So let's say HANA database is there in the Santosh machine. So then this you can configure with the Santosh PC host name, then database driver, then username. So let's say username is Chenna, you can put it, and password, let's say password is RRS, you can put it. Like this, you can configure your own database. Like this, you can configure your own database. Like this, you can configure your own database. That's it. Like this, you can configure your own database. Like this, you can configure your own database. That's it. Okay, so therefore, step number 8 is what? Change the database. SAP Commerce by default provides the HSQL database. And so where can we see the details? I show you. Then let's say your company don't want HSQL DB. Okay, don't want HSQL DB. They want Oracle DB. They want HANA DB and all. So if they want Oracle DB, they want HANA DB, then what to do? So you can go and find the corresponding database settings in the platform project.properties, copy those and go to the config local.properties and do the changes. That's it. Next, step number 9. So change the functional scope. Okay, change the functional scope. So this is also optional here. So change the functional scope. What does it mean? Let's discuss quickly. Okay, so this is also optional. So let's understand what does it mean, change functional scope. Okay, change functional scope means, so I will close this. Can you see this one, please? As I said, after installation, this is the results we get it. After installation, this is the site we get it. After installation, this is the site we get it. After installation, this is the site we get it. Now, so this site you are able to see because of all these extensions code. This site results you are able to see because of all these extensions code. Okay, so this site results you are able to see because of all these extensions code. This site results you are able to see because of all these extensions code. Now let's say for your company, for your website, assume that CAPTCHA is not required. So CAPTCHA not required means you can go and delete this. For your company, for your client, let's say promotions are not required. You can go and delete this extension, delete this code, delete this extension. That's it. So that means you are changing the functional scope. So therefore you can change the functional scope. Okay, so you can, or we can change the functional scope. We can change the functional scope by adding extensions in local extensions.xml or by removing from local extensions.xml. That's it. So this is optional. If you have, for now we want to practice, right? That's why I want to go with as is. But in the real time, so based on the discussions, let's say these Y add-ons are not required. So let's say this configuration bundle something is not required. Then you can go and delete all this code, all these extensions, all this particular piece of things, so that you will have exactly what you required for your company. So that you will have what is required for your company. So this is again an optional step. That's it. Next, step number 10. Okay, next step number 10. So please remember this. After installation, this is the site we get it. Okay, after installation, this is the site we get it. Can you see this one, please? After installation, so this is the site we get it. So we are able to see the results of this site. We need to understand this one, please. We'll see the tables and all tomorrow, but you need to quickly understand this. We are able to see the results of this site because lots of supporting tables are created behind. So example, so we are able to see because there is a cart table, there is a user table, there is a product table, and so on, so on. That those tables are there. That's why you are able to see categories. That's why you are able to see products. That's why you are able to see, you are able to add the item to cart and all. So therefore you are able to see the results of this site because lots of supporting tables are created behind. Lots of supporting tables are created behind. You can see lots of supporting tables are created behind. Now you can ask a question. So the question is what? Again, I will not repeat this tomorrow. You need to understand. Question is, I said what? We are able to see the results of this site because lots of supporting tables are created behind. Example, cart table, order table, user table, product table, category table, catalog table, and all. Now, question number 1: did we write the code or did we do the design for these tables? Answer is no. We did not do. Then what? So SAP Commerce by default providing these tables code or design. These tables of code are designed. SAP Commerce by default providing. Now you should ask one question. What is the question you should ask? Now you should ask one question. What is the question? So SAP Commerce is providing by default code or design for tables. Then where can we see? Where can we see these tables code or design? So the answer is, so there is a asterisk hyphen items.xml. There is a asterisk hyphen items.xml. So asterisk, why I am using asterisk? Because there are so many files. Like a example, so there is a core hyphen item.xml, core hyphen items.xml. So there is a CMS2 hyphen items.xml. Like this, we have bunch of the item.xml file. That's why I'm using star hyphen items.xml. So let me open the code quickly once. Okay, let me open the code quickly once. I'm just opening the code. Again, I will show you how to import the code and all, but you can just remember that. That's it. That is enough. Okay, so therefore, this is where you have the. So therefore, there is a. Okay, so what I'm trying to say that I'll just put this diagram. Okay, so therefore, code is given. So let's say example, I will go to the core hyphen item.xml, and I want to show you the product table code design. So code equal to product. So this is the product table code or design here. This is the product table code or design. Can you please observe here, please? This is the product table code or design. This is the product table code or design. It's a given for us. This is the product table code or design. It's a given for us. So that means this is the table design or code given for us. So now what you need to do? Okay, this is the product table code or design given for us. Then what to do? So I said SAP Commerce is giving product table code or design in this item.xml file. Then what to do? We need to execute this design or code so that equivalent, okay, so that equivalent tables will be created. Equivalent tables will be created in database. Okay, so we need to execute this code or design so that equivalent tables are created in the database. So let's say my database is Oracle here. Can you see this one, please? My database is Oracle. So SAP Commerce database right now, let's say Oracle. So you can have whatever database you want here. You can have HANA database, you can have Oracle database, you can have MS SQL database and all. So this is the database and this is the code. Now what I need to do? I need to execute this code. Okay, I need to execute this code so that table will be created. So therefore, execute this code or design. Okay, execute this code or design so that tables will be created in database. Now you should ask a question. What is the question? How to execute this code or design? So how to execute this code or design? So the answer is, so initialization or update. Answer is initialization or update. So initialization we do first time. Initialization we do first time. Update you will do next time. That's it. Okay, update next time onwards. So initialization we do first time. Update we can do next time onwards. So tell me, am I doing first time or tell me now in this situation, do I need to do initialization or update? Do I need to do initialization or update?
Initialization.
So therefore, I will perform the initialization. After initialization, so there is a product table created. So this is the table created, and please remember this, columns will be created. So let's say you can see there is a product code, product name like that, product code, product name like that. So columns will be created. That's it. Product table, product columns will be created. So that is the purpose of this initialization. That is the purpose of this initialization. Okay, so therefore it's time to perform the initialization. Do the initialization. So therefore, what is the purpose of initialization now? So initialization creates the database, creates the tables. Okay, if required data also. How to do that data we'll see later, but for now that is the situation. So therefore initialization creates the database. Now you can ask a question, how to do the initialization? How to do the initialization? So if you want to do the initialization, you can go to the command window. Okay, you can go to Hybris, you can go to the platform, and perform and initialize. INITIALIZE. This you can perform. So this will take 1 to 2 hours, depends upon your machine. Okay, this will take 1 to 2 hours, depends on your machine. You need to wait for it. Depends upon your machine, you need to wait for it. This will take one. So please remember this, during this time, okay, during this time, don't close this window, command window. Don't close this command window. Second one is, during this time, don't close the command window. Second one is, uh, uh, during that time, your system may go sleeping mode, right? Okay, so let your system not go sleeping mode. Okay, so don't make your system go sleep mode. So these are the things you need to take care. So if these are the things you are taking care, mostly your installation will good. Sometimes if your system is going sleeping mode, then your installation may have some wrong things. That's why make sure your system is not going sleeping mode. Make sure everything is good. That's it. So that is the initialization, and as it is going to take 1 to 2 hours, so I already done before this session. I already done before this session. Is that clear?
Yes, Chenna.
Okay, good. So that's it. That is the step number 10, initialization. So initialization will create the database. Now you can ask a question. So where can we see? Assume that initialization is done. Assume that initialization is done. Then you can ask a question. So where can we see? Where can we see the SAP Commerce tables? Because initialization create the database, right? Where can we see SAP Commerce database or tables data? So the answer is if HSQLDB, then you can see here. So you can go to software, go to Hybris, go to the data, and HSQLDB. There is a mydb.data. There is a mydb.data. So in this file you can see it, but this file data is encrypted format. Mydb.data is encrypted format. We cannot understand. We can't understand. So mydb.data, if you open this, okay, if you open the mydb.data, it is in the encrypted format here. You cannot understand. Let's open quickly once. So it is a big file here. It is a big file. It will take time. Sometimes it's hang also. It is a big file. It will take time. Sometimes it will hang also. Let's see quickly once. Anyway, see, you can see it's loading because this is a big file. It will hang. So even though it opens, as I'm saying, it's in encrypted format. So now you can see it's opened. You can see it's in the encrypted format. You cannot understand anything. Then you should ask a question. What is the question? So then how to see the SAP? Okay, if this is encrypted format, then how to see the SAP Commerce tables or data? So the answer is we can use, okay, solution one. So we can use third-party plugins, okay, plugins where it will connect to this and encrypt and decrypt. We can use third-party plugins, or solution two is we can see from SAP Commerce provided back office. SAP Commerce provided back office, or you can also see some of the information from, okay, we can also see some of the information from SAP Commerce provided HAC. That's it. We can use third-party tools or solution to SAP Commerce provided back office. This is the best option here. I put the green color. SAP Commerce provided back office. We will see that after installation. We will see that after installation. So that's about this step number 9, which is nothing but initial, or step number 10, which is nothing but the initialization. So once that is done, then step number 11, start the server. Okay, start the server. So SAP Commerce by default provides, okay, Hybris server, which is built on Apache Tomcat. Now you can ask a question, where can we see SAP Commerce provided, okay, Hybris server details? Hybris server details. For that, you can go to the, okay, you can go to this Hybris. You can see here, please. You can go to the Hybris. You can go to the bin. You can go to the platform, and you can see there is a Hybris server. 2 times are there. One is for the Windows. One is for the Mac. One is for the Windows. One is for the Mac. That's it. So here you can see Hybris server.bat. So this is for Windows, and if you have Mac, then Hybris server.sh will be there. Then you can ask a question, how to start the server? How to start the, okay, server. So if you want to start the server, go to the command window. Okay, go to the command window and execute that command, Hybris server.bat. Hybris server.bat. So this may take 10 to 20 minutes, depends upon your machine. Okay, so 10 to 20 minutes depends upon your machine. Okay, that's it. So this will take 10 to 20 minutes, depends upon your machine. Sometimes it will take more time also. Okay, that's it. This is how you can start the server. So note, sometimes, okay, so server startup will take more time also. Server startup, okay, startup will take more time also. Then you should ask one question. What is the question? Sometimes server
How to reduce the time.
So how to reduce the Hybris server startup time? Hybris server startup time. So for that, what you can do is that there are a bunch of the options for this. So option 1, so you can go to the config file. You can go to the platform, sorry, Hybris config file, open the local.properties and turn on the cron jobs. This is the option 1. Okay, turn on the cron jobs. Where did I do that? So you can go to this config local.properties. Okay, so these are all there in the notes here. Don't worry about how to remember the path and all. Okay, so don't worry about how to remember the path and all. So these are all there in the notes. Not these notes. You will get better notes than this. Here I am not typing complete sentences. So we already have a notes which is typed completely. Okay, so in the local.properties, you can turn off the cron jobs. Then option 2 is, so this is one option. Option 2 is in the same file. Okay, option 2 is in the same file. You can say there is a tenants concept. So in the SAP Commerce right now, we are not using the tenants. So therefore, make the tenants as empty so that it will not load. Then option 3 is in SAP Commerce, we are not using the socket programming. So delete those files, those jar files. Example, you can see here, please. Example, you can see here, please. Yeah, I deleted it. That's why you cannot see here. Maybe I'll show some. I'll show here. So you can see these are the 2 files I deleted. So from where I deleted, you can go to Hybris, you can go to the bin, you can go to the platform. Okay, you can go to Hybris, you can go to the bin, you can go to the platform and lib, not lib, sorry. Tomcat, lib. So here you will find those. Okay, so here you will find those, you need to delete it. That's it. By doing like this, we have many options. At least you do these 3. Okay, so at least you do these 3. At least you do these 3. By doing this, you can see around a 50% improvement. around 50% server startup improvement. By doing this, you can see around 50% server startup improvement. That's it. That's it here. So now you can see my server is started. Can you observe this one, please? Can you observe this one, please? Now my server is started. Now my server is started. You can see this one, please. It started. Okay, so you can see Hybris server.bat. It is started and running. Started and running. So then, what is the next step here? Step number 12. So that means installation is completed. That means installation is completed. So why did we do all these things? Because we want to see the results. So therefore, now the question is, what we get after installation? What we get after installation are results. So we did it from yesterday to today because we want to see something. What we get after installation. So therefore, you can see this kind of ready-made site we get it. I did not do anything here. We just completed the installation. So this is the apparel UK website. You get it. So the first one is okay, apparel UK sample site. So which is nothing but this is the URL. Okay, so this is the URL. You get it. So here you can see. So this is the ready-made site here. So you can see search is already working. Okay, so you can see navigations are there, products are there, everything is there. Now you need to change this one as per your Chroma company, as per your Reliance Retail company, as per your Stop company, as per your Colgate company, and so on, so on, so. That's it. So similarly, we can also get a apparel Germany sample site. So in the URL, you need to use Germany, DE. In the URL, you need to use DE. Can you observe this one, please? So apparel DE. So which is the German language. But right now what is happening? Still English is coming because it's a cache. Now you need to clear the cache. How do you clear the cache? In the URL, you can type clear equal to true. Now you can see it's coming in the German. Now you can see it is coming in the German. So in the URL, you can type clear equal to true. In the URL, you can type clear equal to true. Similarly, you can get one more sample site, electronics. Okay, sample site. So this also we get it. Electronic sample site we get it. Okay, so how do I see the results of this? You can go here and type electronics. Okay, now you can see this is another sample site we get it. Like that we get it. Sorry. Like that we get a 3 sample B2C sites. Now depends upon your requirement or depends upon your client. Depends on your client. So then you can select which one is base. Depends upon your client business type, business. You can select the nearest one. You can select the nearest one. That's it. So simple example, let's say you are working for Chroma company. Do you take electronics or apparel? You are working for Chroma company. Do you take electronics or apparel?
Electronics.
Electronics. So let's say you are working for Decathlon company. Do you take electronics or apparel?
Apparel.
Apparel. So like this, it depends upon the business. You can select it. That's it. Okay, clear equal to CLER clear equal to true. What happened? Apparel UK and clear equal to true. Okay, now you guys coming. That's it. So like this, we are getting bunch of the sample sites here. We did not do anything. We just, and you can see here. Can you observe this one? So this is the custom, the one which we created. The one which we created. So this is the custom, the one which we created. Is that clear? In the functional session, In the functional session, this is a Y accelerator storefront. Now it is a custom storefront. So if you are working for, right now it is a ChennaReddyTraining storefront, right? So if you are working for Chroma, maybe you have Chroma storefront like that. So if you are working for Reliance Digital, the name whatever you have given, let's say during installation you have given RL, then what the name? RL storefront like that you will have. RL storefront like that you will have. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Now what else we get it after installation? So after installation, we can get a tool called back office. You can see here, we can get a tool called back office, and this is the URL. Okay, so then username is admin and password what we set during installation. Password what we set it during installation. So this is the back office. Now you can ask a question, what is the purpose of back office? So back office is the simple answer is back office is the UI tool for your database. Back office is the UI tool for your database. So that means from back office, you can see what tables, so you can see product table, category table, catalog table and all, what tables are there, what data is there, and you can also perform CURD operations. Let's say I go here, catalog. Okay, now you can see, I can see what catalogs are there and I can create a new one. I can delete this one and all. So therefore from back office, okay, so what we can do? So first one is we can see all the tables and tables in bracket types. There is a word called types here. What is the difference between types and tables? We'll see tomorrow or day after tomorrow. But yeah, for now, if we can see all the tables are types. Okay, so like the product table, category table and all, then we can perform CURD operations. So that's why I said it's a UI tool for your database. It's a UI tool for your database. So you can go here and see, okay, there is a product table. Okay, there is a category table. There is a catalog table. Okay, what data is there? What kind of things are there? Like that, you can see all the information. Like that, you can see all the information. That's it. Next to fifth one. What else we get it? So we can get the product cockpit. So you can see within the back office, you have an option called the product cockpit. Within the back office, you have an option called the product cockpit. What is the purpose of this one? Right now you are getting the error. We'll see how to fix the error. So what is the purpose of this one? So from here, product manager can manage the products easily. So product manager uses product cockpit to manage the products. Similarly, we will get one more tool called Smart Edit. So Smart Edit is for the content purpose. So therefore, content manager uses a Smart Edit. This is another tool here. Okay, to manage the content. Okay, and if you want to know what is the URL for that Smart Edit, so you can go here and type Smart Edit. So these are all we discussed in the functional session here. That's why I am fast. These are all we discussed in the functional session. That's why I am fast. If anyone missed the functional session, so we'll provide a recorded session, no problem. If anyone missed the functional sessions, we'll provide the recorded sessions, no problem. For now, just see this one. So therefore, Smart Edit. So content manager uses the Smart Edit. This is the URL for the Smart Edit. From here, content manager can manage the content easily. So then we can also get one more tool called HAC, Hybris Administrative Console. The URL for this is, okay, so this is the URL. Okay, so this is the URL and admin is the username, password is the one whatever we have given during installation. You can see admin 1234. So this is the password I have given during the installation. Now you can see this is the HAC. From here we can perform the admin activities like platform related, monitoring related, maintenance related, console related. All these things we can perform from here. So that is the purpose of the HAC. Similarly, we can get a tool called ASM. Okay, we can get a tool called CS Cockpit. Okay, like this we get a bunch of the tools after installation. Like this we get a bunch of the tools after installation. We will use one by one, but these are all discussed in detail in the functional sessions. These are all discussed in detail in the function session. If anyone missed the function sessions, we'll provide the recorded session. For now, you can just focus on the technical because we are in the technical right now. Okay, good. So therefore, after installation, these are the different results we get it. Any questions so far here?
Yes, Chenna.
Go ahead.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right. As I said, right after installation, we are going to get all these things. You can just recap this one, please. After installation, we are getting the sample sites, we are getting the back office, we are getting the HAC, we are getting the product cockpit, we are getting the smart edit, we are getting the ASM, we are getting the CS cockpit. Like this, we are getting bunch of the things. And just remember one point, in the old versions, for content purpose, we had a CMS cockpit. In the latest version, for the content purpose, we have smart edit. That's it. Next. So the next one is, now we have seen all these things. Okay. One more thing is that yesterday, okay, so yesterday we have used and module gen which generated module or set of extensions, right? Yesterday we used module gen which generated module or set of extensions. Example, so you can see this one, please. Example, so you can go to your site. So because of module gen, we got all these extensions. Because of the module gen, we got all these 7 extensions. We will understand what is the purpose of these 7 extensions in the coming days. For now, these 7 extensions are used for development purpose. Okay. So what I'm trying to say that yesterday we have used module gen which generated a module or set of extensions. Now the question is, what happens if I want only one extension copy? So this is nothing but set of the extensions. So what happens if we want one extension copy, one standard extension copy, one standard or one extension copy, no need to be standard also, one extension copy. So if you want one extension copy, then use ant.txt gen. So let's practice one example. So let's say I have a requirement. Where I want to do some payment coding or some other coding. So I have requirement, okay, where we want to do the payment related coding. Okay, I have a requirement where we want to do the payment related coding. So that means I want one extension to write this code. I can go and write this here. See this, I can go and write this, but it is a tightly coupled. So payment, I want to keep it separately. So I can go and write the payment code here. But it is a tightly coupled. I can go and write the payment code here, but it is a tightly coupled. I want to put the payment code separately for loosely coupled purpose. So that's why I want to make a copy, or I want to have my own extensions to write the payment code. I want to have my own extensions for the payment code. So then, okay, then what to do? So we can use the module gen. How to use the module gen? I'm showing now. So go to your software, go to Hybris, go to the platform, and type ant.txt gen. Okay, so the step number 1 is what? Okay, step number 1 is type and extension generation and hit enter. So when I type and extension, can you observe this one please? It is asking me to select which extension copy you want. You can see it is given bunch of the extensions. Okay, step number 2, asking to choose the template. So that means the extension. Okay, so let's say you, okay, can you see this one please? Let's say you want to write some OCC, then you can go with YOCC. Let's say you want to write some web services. You can see you can go with Y-commerce web services, Y-commerce web services. Let's say you want to write some commerce web services test, then you can go with this. Let's say you are writing some back office customizations. Back office customizations. So you can see there is a Y back office here. Let's say you are writing some okay, web services we covered. So let's say you are writing something like a fulfillment related. You can see this one. Like this, it is giving bunch of the extensions. You can choose and make a copy of it to write your own code. Make a copy of it, your own code. And assume that you don't know what code you are writing. If you don't know what code you are writing, go with YMT. So YMT will give the fresh structure, project structure it will give. The extension structure it will give. There you can write whatever you want. There you can write whatever you want. Now you can see YMT is in the bracket. YMT is in the bracket means what? It is the default. Now I want to go with YMT. So hit enter. Okay, hit enter. So now it is asking the name. So let's say Chenna payment. Now it is asking the it is asking the package. So com.chenna.payment something I am giving. So now you can see it's done. Now it is also suggesting the next step. Next step is nothing but what? Just now we created the extension. You need to activate it. How do we activate it? How do we activate it? The local extension file. So now let's see this one, please. I just generated, right? You can see Chenna. Okay, you can go to the custom. You can see Chenna payment came. So this is having the project structure, extension structure. Now we can go here and write your own code. Now you can go here and write your own code. Now this code results you want to see. So that's why you need to take this extension details and go to the config local properties, sorry, config local extensions file and activate or enable it. Activate or enable it like this. So you can go here, say extension. Okay, so say extension. Name equal to this one. Like this you can give. So that whatever you coded, that results you can able to use it. That results you can able to see it. That results you can able to use it. That results you can able to see it. That's it. So that is about the YMT here. So that is about YMT. YMT means it's almost empty. You can go and write whatever you want. You can go and write whatever you want. That's why if you go here, if you go here, if you go here, you can see almost empty here. Okay, so let's do one more thing. So let's do one more time. Okay, and extension. This time I will not use YMT. This time, let's say your requirement is you want to write the web services. Then I want to make a copy of Y-commerce web services. Y-commerce, COMMERCE web services. See the difference, please. Previous one is empty. That's why it did not give much code. Now you will see lots of code. Hit enter. Now it is asking the name. So let's say Chenna web services. Okay. So com.chenna.RRS.web services. Like that, I am making a copy of Y-commerce web services. Now let's go and see the results. Go to the bin, go to the custom. Now you can see Chenna web services came. This is a copy of Y-commerce web services. That's why you will see lots of things inside. So you can go to this, you can go to SRC, you can go to the COM, Chenna, triple RS. Now you can see, so there are cart related service, okay, service implementation. So you can see lots of code, ready-made code is given for us. Lots of code, ready-made code is given for us. Similarly, you can go on to see other places. You can see there are some cron jobs given, queues are given, strategies are given. So inside the strategies, go to the implementations. You can see some methods, code is given. This you take it and write as per your current logic. This is how you can make a copy of one extension. This is how you can make a copy of one extension. Now you created this extension. You want to use these results. If you want to use the results, then you can make it activate or enable. How do I make it activate enable? Go to config local extensions.xml. Okay, add that particular extension whatever we created. Add that particular extension whatever we created, so that you can able to use that results. You can able to see that results. This is how you can create the extension copy and start writing the specific code. Start writing the specific code. That's it. Any questions? Now you can ask one question. Can you see this one please one more time? So let's say ant-extgen. I type ant-extgen. When I type ant-extgen, now it is asking me to select which extension copy you want or which template it is. Now let's say Lakshmi has written one template or some code, and okay, or let's say Kiran has written some code, and I want to do the changes on top of it. If I want to do the changes on top of it, Kiran code should come here so that I can make a copy of it. Is that clear requirement? See this one please. Let's say Kiran has coded something. Kiran coded, let's say ABC extension and written some logic. Now my requirement is I want to use that logic and write some more thing. Okay, so I want to use that. Now requirement is I want to use that logic and write some more on top of it for my portfolio. So that means what? I want to make a copy of whatever Kiran has developed. I want to make a copy of whatever Kiran developed. So which is nothing but ABC. So that means ABC extension should come in this list, right? ABC extension should come in this list so that I can go, so that Chenna can go and select it and make a copy. Is that clear requirement?
Yes, Chenna.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So whatever Kiran has developed should come in this list so that Chenna can go and make a copy of it. So therefore, what Kiran should do to bring that into this list? What Kiran should do to bring that extension, which is nothing but ABC, in this list. So what Kiran should do? Let's say Kiran has developed something here. Let's say Kiran has developed fulfillment. Then in that there is a extensions import.xml. In that there is a extensions import.xml. There he needs to mention this meta. He need to mention this meta. So if he mention this meta tag, then this will be available in that list. This will be available in that list. That's it. Is that clear?
Yes, Chenna.
Okay, that's it here. So that is the importance of this particular tag or this particular meta attribute, meta property in this file. So therefore, what he has to do? So he has to, let's say this is the one he developed. So once he developed it, he has to go to this extensions info.xml and add this particular meta attribute, meta key and value, so that it will come in that list. That's it. So that is one more thing you need to remember. So this is how we can use the AND extension. So this is how we can use the AND extension and module gen. So module gen is generating the module and extension is generating one extension copy. One extension copy. That's it. So the next thing is that, okay, so the next thing is that this SAP Commerce, I told you SAP Commerce provides lots of code, right? SAP Commerce provides lots of code. So the question number one is how to see the code. Or so question number two is how to write the code on top of SAP Commerce provided. How to see the code? SAP Commerce provide lots of code. So this I told you. SAP Commerce provide lots of code. Now how to see the code? How to write the code on top of it? So to write the code, let's say if it is a C language, where do you write the code in C language? Okay, so Turbo C editor. Turbo C editor. Okay, similarly in SAP Commerce, we can write code anywhere. So you can use Notepad++ or you can use Eclipse or whatever you want, you can use it here. So my recommendation is Eclipse. If you are comfortable with IntelliJ, you can use IntelliJ. If you are comfortable with Visual Studio, you can use Visual Studio. Whatever comfortable, you can use it here. But my recommendation is Eclipse. So now if you don't have Eclipse, what is this here? If you don't have Eclipse, you can install it. It's a free. Install Eclipse if you don't have. And so where can you install? You can go to this google.com and type download Eclipse. Type download Eclipse. You can see here. So here any latest version you can download. Don't send me email what version can I. Any latest version you can download. Okay, any latest version you can download. So I just downloaded it and I opened. You can see I just downloaded it. Can you see this one, please? I just downloaded and installed, and this is what my Eclipse. This is what my Eclipse. Now how to import the code into Eclipse? Now the question is how to import the code. How to import the code into Eclipse. So if you want to import the code into Eclipse, what you can do is that, can you see this one, please? First, let me delete it, whatever you have here. Let me delete it, whatever we have here. Anyway, that is not required because it's a different code base. I'm just deleting whatever we have here. So you can say continue. When you are deleting, don't delete permanent here. Just delete from the Eclipse. Okay, now you can see everything is deleted. Okay, so now I'll just close and open it again. So this is how you will have Eclipse. Okay, it's opening, ready to open. So this is how you will have the Eclipse. Now you want to import the code, right? So you can go to the import project, and you can go to the general and the existing project into workspace. Click on next. Now browse your location. Where is your location? RRS software, Hybris. Okay, then you want all the bin, right? So select the bin. You want all the bin. Select the bin, say finish. Okay, that's it. And you also want a config. So therefore you can go and import one more config. So general project. So go here, import. Okay, so I also want to import the config, because in the config also we have the code. Select the config and say finish. That's it. This is the complete code here. This is the complete code you can import into Eclipse. Now you can go on to find out. So we got 7 extensions, right? You can see that 7 extensions. ChennaReddyTraining. So we have 7 custom extensions, right? Are those came? CHE. Okay, you can see. So that 7 extensions also came. And where to write, how to write the code and all, we'll practice. Where to write, how to write the code and all, we'll practice. Where to write, how to write the code and all, we'll practice it. That's it. So now let's say, can you see this one, please? Can you see this one, please? So let's say I am writing some code here. I just go here and write some code. Can you see this one, please? Let's say I write some code here. So assume that I am a developer. I have written some code. Okay. So let's say some code is written here. Then what to do? What to do next? So I need to compile and start the server to see results. I need to compile and start the server to see the results. For compilation, it may take 10 minutes to 20 minutes. So let's say compile, let's say 20 minutes. Server startup, let's say 20 minutes. So that means to see results, how much time developer needs to wait? Around 40 minutes. Around 40 minutes. Is that what in the real time here? Is that what in the real time?
No.
It is, because it is not what, but that is what it is. Okay. So then what to do? So ask your company to provide or allow to use hard deployment tools. So best example is JRebel. So this is a hard deployment tool. So if you use this tool, then no build, no compile, or no compile, no server restart. So what you can do, you can just do the changes here, go to the site, you can see the results. So that means it is a hard deployment. Do the changes here. Okay. So do the changes. What happened? Do the changes here. Then click on save. Then you can go to the site and check the results. That's the advantage of these particular tools. But if your company is giving that tools, that's fine. If your company is not giving, okay, you have to do compile and server start. Till now, I work with a bunch of the projects. Whatever project I worked, no company has provided these hard deployment tools. No company has provided, because so this is a licensing kind of thing, and there are some free tool also. Even though it is a free tool, some companies don't allow because of security. If it is a licensed one, some companies don't pay for it. So these are the two reasons. There is no much other than that. So therefore, If at all your company is providing, yes, you can go with the hard deployment tools. But if your company is not providing, you don't have option. You have to compile and start the server to see the results. That's it. Okay, next. So that's about how to import the code and into Eclipse, then how to write the code or hard deployment tools. So we have a free tools, we have a licensed tools, both are there. So the JRebel, whatever we talked about, that's a licensed one. The JRebel, whatever we talked about, licensed one. You can just go on to Google it also, you will find some tools. Okay, so let's say Java hard deployment tools. Java hard deployment tools, you can see there are so many. 5 amazing hard deployment tools for Java. Let's see what are the 5. Okay, Team City, something are all there. Okay, so you can go through and see this, but yeah, at least a JRebel is a good, some companies are using. That's about this one. Now after installation, we get this kind of sample site, right? After installation, we get a sample site. So like a B2C sample site. Then what is there in that? What functionalities or features are there in that? What functionalities or features are there in that? So after installation, we get a sample site. What functionalities or features are there in that? What functionalities or features are there in that? To understand that, what functionalities or features are there in that? To understand that. So now you can see this one, please. So you have home page. Okay, so the first one is home page. So the first one is home page. Okay, so can you see this one, please? The first one is home page. So this is the home page. This is the home page. So that means, can you observe this one, please? I click on this one. I hit this URL. When I hit the URL, you guys need to pay attention. I hit the URL. When I hit the URL, this is the results is coming. So that means when I hit the URL, something is called. Okay, some code is executed. That code is giving these results. Okay, so I am hitting this URL. When I hit the URL, some code is called. That's called a controller. That controller is having series of the logic which is giving these results. Then how do I find out the controller? So right now this is the home page, right? So for home page, you will have home page controller. Control shift R, home page controller Java. You can see home page controller Java. All the times you can refer the custom extensions whatever we created. You can see in the top, please. ChennaReddyTraining storefront custom extension. So therefore, this is the controller called which is having bunch of the logic. This is the controller called which is having bunch of the logic. Because of all this logic, you are getting the results back. This one. You are getting the results back. This one. Now you can ask a question. How do we know this is the correct controller called? For that, you need to check the URL pattern with the controller request mapping. So in the URL pattern, after English, what is there? Slash is there. If you see the controller request mapping, slash is there. Okay, slash is there. So that means URL request mapping is matching with the controller URL pattern. URL pattern is matching with the controller request mapping. Yes or no? URL pattern is matching with the controller request mapping. Yes. So that's why I am telling. So this is the correct controller for this. So therefore, for home page, what is the controller we have? For home page.
Homepage controller.java.
Yes, homepage controller.java. Very good. Similarly, okay, so this is called homepage. Now I will search with the caps. When I search with caps, this is called a search page. You need to remember the page names. This is called a search page. Now, so searching like this and hitting the URL like this, both are same. Okay, searching like this and hitting the URL like this, both are same. So that means when I hit, okay, searching like that and hitting the URL, both are same. So I am hitting the URL like this. When I hit the URL, then bunch of the code is executed. That code is giving the results. That results you are taking and displaying here. Then how do I find the code? This is very important for the technical people to find the code quickly. This is very important for the technical people to find the code easily and to find the code quickly. So this is a search page. So therefore, there will be something like a search page controller. There will be something like a search page controller. So you can go here. What happened? Control Shift R. What happened here? Oh, okay, sorry. Control Shift R. Okay. So search page controller.java. You can see search page controller.java I have. So this is a controller called, and this is having bunch of the series of the logic. This logic is executed and you are getting the results because of all this logic, and you are taking and displaying in the UI. You are taking and displaying in the UI. Now you can ask a question, how do we know this is the correct controller called? Now you need to observe the URL pattern. After language, you have /search. And you can see controller request mapping is exactly matching. Controller request mapping is matching with the URL pattern. Controller request mapping is matching with the URL pattern. That means this is the correct controller called, and this is having bunch of the logic executed, and this is giving the results. You are taking the results and displaying in the UI. So therefore, for search page, what the controller? Okay, for search page, what the controller?
Search page controller.java.
Search page controller Java. That's it. Okay, next, so let's say I go and click on this particular category. If I go and click on category, this is called a category page. So let's say I go and click on this one. Okay, so this is called a category page. Okay, so this is called a category page. You can see this is called a category page. So clicking on this link and hitting this URL, both are same. Sorry. Clicking on that link and hitting the URL, both are same. Now when I hit the URL, can you see this one please? When I hit the URL, some code is executed, that code is giving the results. That results we are taking and displaying here. Okay, so that result we are taking and displaying here. Which code it is? Now what is the page name? So the page name is category page, right?
Yeah.
So category page. So therefore you can look for something like a category page controller like that, or category star controller like that. You can look it. So you can see there is a category page controller.java. You can see there is a category page controller.java. So this is the one which will be called. This is having bunch of the logic. Because of this logic, or because this logic is giving lots of results, that results you are taking and displaying in the UI. That results you are taking and displaying in the UI. That's it. Now you can ask a question. So when I hit the URL, I said this is the controller called. What is the guarantee that this is the correct controller? For that, you can go and look for the URL pattern and controller request mapping. URL pattern and controller request mapping. So if you see in the URL pattern, you have /c. So here also it is exactly matching. But before you have lots of text, what to do for that? So before /c, you have something. So that's why before /c, we put double stars here. So that means before /c, I can have any number of characters, and those characters can be anything. That is how we manage the request mapping. That's how we manage the request mapping. So that means URL pattern is matching with the controller request mapping. Hence, this is the correct controller called for the category page. So therefore, for category page, what is the controller? For category page, what is the correct controller?
Category page controller.
Category page controller. Like this, you need to find out the code quickly. Like this, you need to find out the code quickly. Next. So let's go and click on this particular product. When I click on the product, this is called product page. Okay, so this is called product page. Okay, so this is called product page, and clicking on this, look at this one please. Clicking on this product, hitting the URL, both are same. Clicking on the product and hitting the URL, both are same, no difference. So therefore, when I hit the URL, there is a bunch of the logic executed. Okay, that logic is giving the results. That results you are taking and displaying here. Now, which logic is executed? Which code is executed? So this is called a product page. Okay, so this is called the product page. So therefore, go and search something like a product star controller.java. Star controller.java. You can see there is a product page controller.java. You can see there is a product page controller.java. So this is the one which will be called when you hit that URL, and this is having bunch of the logic. Because of this logic executed, then we are getting the results. That results you are taking and displaying in the UI. Okay, so that results you are taking and displaying in the UI. So can you see this one please? Now, how do you know this is the correct controller? For that, you need to observe the URL pattern. So in the URL, you have product /p, it is matching. And before /p, we have bunch of the things here. Okay, but in the controller request mapping also, before /p, you have double star. Double star means what? You can have any number of characters, and those characters can be anything. So that means your URL pattern is matching with the controller request mapping. So that means when you hit the URL, this is the controller called, and this has bunch of the logic. This logic is executed and giving these results. That results you are taking and displaying in the UI. That results you are taking and displaying in the UI. Like this, after installation, we have bunch of the pages. So now you can add the item to cart. If you add the item to cart, the next is called the cart page. So for a cart page, so this is called the cart page here. So for a cart page, you can see cart page controller.java. You can see cart page controller.java. Like this, we have a bunch of the pages and corresponding starting code that's called controllers. Can we list quickly, please? Can we list quickly? For home page, what is there? Home page. For home page. Can you guys read it, please? Controller.java. So for category page, what is there? Can you read it, please?
Category page control.
Yes, category page. Everyone, not just one here. Okay, category page controller.java. This is very powerful conclusions for technical people. Okay, so categories for search page.
Search page controller.
Search page controller.java.
.java. So for cart page.
Cart page controller.java.
Cart page controller.java. So for product page.
Product page controller.java.
Yes, product page controller.java. So for checkout page, so you can see checkout star controller.java because the checkout is having multiple steps. Okay, so like this we have different controllers. For my account, so you can see my account or account page controller.java. So you can see account page controller.java is there, which is a my account. So account page controller.java. Like this, you have different functionalities and corresponding controllers or code given for us. Like this, we have different controllers, corresponding functionalities are given for us. So therefore, based on the functionality, you can find the Based on the functionality, you can find the code quickly with these conclusions. Based on the functionality, you can find the code quickly with this conclusion. These are very powerful conclusions. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, Chenna.
Okay, because technical people, so if you don't know where to go and search it, yes, we will learn some more options. But to speed up the work, these conclusions are important. To speed up the work, these conclusions are important. Otherwise, you need to search from scratch. You don't need to search from scratch. You need to remember, okay, for checkout, okay, checkout star controllers are there. For cart page controllers are there. For order page controllers, account page controllers, like that controllers are there. Let me open that, then put the breakpoint there and debug the code. Like that, you need to start and do the finding the code quickly. So that's all for today. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. Else, we'll continue tomorrow.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, can you see this one, please? After importing into Eclipse, do you see some of the extensions are having red, right?
Yes,
Some
Chenna.
of the extensions are having red, yes or no?
Yes, Chenna.
Yes, Chenna.
So please remember this. These are not the errors. These are Eclipse dependencies challenges. Okay, these are not errors. These are Eclipse dependency loading challenges. So you can ignore and continue. So this is very important. So because if you have worked in the Java project, whenever you see red like this, we think that error. So these are not errors right now, whatever you are seeing here. These are not errors, whatever you are seeing here. These are Eclipse dependencies challenges. That means, so let's say this extension depends upon 4 another extensions that may be not loaded properly, or that Eclipse is not understanding properly, like that. Okay, so because this is a heavy code, right? Heavy code, Eclipse needs to understand everything. Sometimes it may not understand properly. So therefore you are seeing that kind of rates. These are not errors. These are not code errors. These are Eclipse dependency loading challenges or understanding challenges. You can ignore and continue coding. That's it. That's all here. Okay, we can continue tomorrow. Thank you.